So I was just doing a video on YouTube right now, and there's so much, man. She mentioned Ruiz, the journal, right? And when you journal, what are you doing? You're talking to yourself. You're having a conversation with yourself. You're having an inner dialogue with yourself, pretty much, right? Because you're talking to people. And thoughts are energy. And I say I don't journal because I can't keep up with my dialogue. There's so much out there. And that's why we do need to keep focused on certain things. Just right now, I'm having an inner dialogue, right? You're thinking, that's a conversation. It's the same way you have a conversation like you were mentioning about journaling. Their dialogue I'm having, it's like, why are you past judgment, right? Like, well, because you need a dad. I say I'm talking to myself. So the way I see it as, or the way I'm understanding it, it's the body. That's the body, because it is a person as well. Like we are here in the flesh. We're spiritual beings. I mean, that's consciousness, spirit. That's your higher self. Once you surrender the body, yourself, to your higher self, because you don't even need a body. There you go. Here, you have this extra 5 senses. Because remember, all this consciousness, higher thinking, we share it as one. And that's beautiful. See, I'm just thinking about that. That's correct. It's, you get experience with your other 5 senses. With your smell, taste, touch, smell, listen, whatever it is. That's an extra. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not existing. Because we see in like ultraviolets, and we see through our own eye, which is the light, and the retina, all that shit, right? So there's other energies, think about it, frequencies that we don't see. We don't see. Some people can. Some people have that extra gifted people, those psychic abilities. They see auras and stuff like that. I was having that inner dialogue with myself, and it's just the human body. We that's how we adapt here because of. I'm analyzing you, and I shouldn't be analyzing you. I shouldn't be scanning you. You mean why? Why? Because I'm scanning for. This is the way I see it. I'm scanning what you can hurt me with. What is it you want from me? What are you gonna take from me? Because learning after my awakening that I've always known bad existed, but like I'm saying, I didn't think it was gonna happen to you, betrayal type of shit like that. Like that's just it's psychologically fucky. It addicts you. It triggers past traumas that you have since you were younger. If that's the case. So that's what that whole narc thing is doing. But what I'm trying to say is, that's what I'm doing. You're trying to avoid that. And when you're waking up to there is fucking evil people, even the people that you don't trust sometimes, that's when you do that scan analysis to see what they're about. That's why, because I scan to see what are you about. Because see, that's what I'm trying to understand. Unconditional love is so hard for me to understand. It's from heart because how can someone who says they love you, that's the thing, they said love you, do so harm is what you're trying to figure out. That's, I believe, is one of the biggest things, is understanding is how can this person you trusted or know give your heart to in the way you see it betray you, do that to you? How can someone that loves you do this to you? So then that's when you start to identify that behavior or action, and you start mislabeling shit as in this is love. So that's what I meant by you can be addicted to a certain type of love. You can be addicted to a certain type of drama, you know. And why? Because that's all you know. That's all you're used to. So once you start to see this shit, and once you start to analyze that it's because of your beliefs and core and what you have in here, in the Dante, the chi, that's where you start to understand yourself. You start to know yourself. And this is where everything I'm learning, I'm applying. Because I'm learning. And that's what we're here for. We're here in school. We're for school. It's just a trip, man. There's just so much you can branch out from, but I'm just trying to stay focused here. And it's about healing. Because we did not know any different. We didn't learn this growing up. This is stuff that, you know, because understand that your family put you where you're at now, right? But they had to get out of survival mode. How can they go to this new way of thinking of, you know, things like that when you have tyrants, you know, and people trying to control you who already know this shit, and they're just trying to get you to buy into their reality. They're trying to get you to feed into their shit, into their illusions. What I'm trying to say, you know, and that's when you understand. So, getting out of the survival mode is what I'm trying to say. It gives you the opportunity to expand your consciousness in a different way of thinking, which is going within. The ancients have been talking about this for such a long time. For such a long time. The ancients have been talking about this for a very long time. To go within. Look within. All the answers lay within. You're not understanding that. And once you understand, what does that mean? Because if you know yourself, you're not going to let outside things validate you. Other things are not going to affect you. I'm learning this stuff. But we have our own blocks. That's why we are our own worst enemies, by the way. If you don't understand that yet. And I see it, and I know understand. It's just we have our own battles and journeys to go. But I understand. That's the difference. But the whole point I'm trying to say is, yeah. But I'm learning, man. And I'm understanding myself. Slowly but surely. And like right now, like I was saying, I just got off a video. I started getting nervous. I started getting anxious. I don't understand why. But yeah, man. So it was just thinking. But my bad. Just give me some time. Because I'm trying to translate this for other people to understand. Enough hurt, enough pain, physical or heart, you're gonna break sooner or later. You're gonna break. Give me a second. Anxieties, all that stuff. Go away. Just understand. Just be in the present moment. Don't worry about the past, because the past is not real. It's past. It's not real. It no longer exists in the physical form. What I'm getting with that, and what I'm saying with that is, I'm understanding myself, and I'm learning this stuff.
The way that you keep the psychopaths at bay is to develop the inner psychopath so that you know one when you see one, right? And then, but that's a voluntary thing. It's like a set of tools that you have at your disposal, which is full knowledge of evil. And that does, Nietzsche said, if you look into an abyss for too long, you risk having the abyss gaze back into you, right? The idea is that if you look at something monstrous, you have a tendency to turn into a monster. And people are often very afraid of looking at monstrous things exactly for that reason. And then the question is, well, should you turn into a monster? And the answer to that is, yes, you should. But you should do it voluntarily and not accidentally. And you should do it with the good in mind.